Today we will be doing two different recipes, and we will be sharing the recipes with you quite soon. You can see from your screen. And also, you will be seeing a little bit about how we are approaching to our education. In the certificate program, all of the modules consist of 11 weeks. There are 3 modules, basic, intermediate, and superior. And there are 2 disciplines, patisserie and cuisine. Students who finish all of the 3 modules in each area, in each discipline, gets a diplôme de cuisine or diplôme de patisserie, depending on their track. And those who do the both of them, all 6 modules, receives grand diplôme. I'm not going to talk too much because I know everybody's eager to listen to what Chef Eric has to say to us. So I'm gonna leave the stage to him. Daha fazla uzatmak istemiyorum. Herkesin Chef Eric'i heyecanla beklediğini biliyorum. Reçeteleri ekrandan paylaşacağız. Buradan download edebilirsiniz. Bütün misafirlerimize keyifli bir gastro show diliyorum. Teşekkürler.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this digital gastro show. Today, we're going to show you a classical French dish. It's a saddle of lamb with its juice and the lentil. And then on the second part, my colleague, Chef Andreas, will show you a hot soufflé with Cointreau. First, let's start with I have here a rack saddle of lamb. The saddle is the part which comes after the rack. I have deboned it already. I have here the fillet. And I leave the belly part on, which we're going to roll in. For the lentils, which are going to cook a little bit longer, I will start first with this dish to prepare. First, I will melt the butter. And also at the same time, I will start with the stock. Little bit oil in a hot frying pan. And then I will add the bones. Which I get from the meat. First, we will sweat the vegetable. I have here the onions, carrots, and the celery, which is also called a mirepoix. We're going to sweat that for a few minutes. And in the same time, we're going to roast the bones. I'm going to finish roasting them in the oven. And later, also there, I will add a mirepoix. Now for the lamb. The lamb is seasoned with a mint pesto. The mint pesto, the preparation, I'm going to show you after that. We have to first put the lamb now in the oven, otherwise it will not be cooked. After removing all the fat, connective tissue, and all the nerves, I will spread it with this pesto. We brush it all over. Then we replace the fillet. And again, we put some of our pesto on. Now to the lentil, I'm going to add at this stage the garlic, which has been finely chopped. So after the whole preparation is well sweated, we're going to add the green lentils. We are seasoned with some salt, pepper, then we deglaze with chicken stock. We bring it to a boil, and then we let simmer for about a half an hour. We put generously our pesto on. Now we roll it. And bind it with some butcher twine. To keep the shape. We turn it over. Then we heat our saute pan.
Tavayı ısıtıyoruz.
Spread it again lightly with the pesto. Then we season it with salt and pepper. The lentil we put now over lower heat. It should simmer lightly. We add some vegetable oil to the pan, not too much, just slightly cover the bottom, and then we start to sear the lamb. This is a dish which is at the level of basic cuisine. We are teaching in the end of the basic cuisine. For the meat part, they would see such type of dishes. Basic cuisine, of course, we focus mainly on the technique, while in intermediate cuisine, we go already to advanced French dishes. For the superior cuisine, our students would see Michelin star type of recipes. This concludes our butchery. Now we sear it nicely. It has a nice golden brown color on all sides. The reason why we are searing the meat, this is just for flavor. So for the pesto, the ingredients which I have here, you need olive oil, the pine nuts, and then you need garlic, and contrary to the Italian pesto, we have mint leaves, fresh mint leaves. For the Italian pesto, you would use basil, and then I have Parmesan cheese. All these items we are combining in our blender. So the searing is completed. It's all over nicely around brown. We place in the oven. (180 to 200 degrees), at least for 15 minutes. The cooking time, of course, depends on the size of the meat, as well how you would like to have your meat cooked. At this stage, I add the mirepoix, and mirepoix is onion,
Mirepoix ekliyoruz
celery.
salata.
I will continue
Soğan,
roasting
havuç ve
it.
kerevizden oluşuyor.
This is then the base for my jus.
Bu jü'nün bazını oluşturuyor.
Now we blend the pesto.
Şimdi pestoyu karıştırıyoruz.
Very simple.
Gayet kolay.
You can make bigger amounts. You
Büyük
can
miktarda
keep it in a
yapılabilir.
jar and
Bir
keep it in the
kavanoza da
freezer.
konulabilir. Tamam.
Now we will deglaze. Deglaze means we will take the fat off. The fat which came out from the bones or from the trimmings, as well as the fat we use to roast the bones.
Şimdi yağını alıyoruz kemiklerin.
Then we have here the roasting residues, the suc, which we're gonna, of course, which gives flavor and body to our sauce. So I will deglaze our pan.
Tavayı deglaze ediyorum
And we scrap off these cooking residues.
ve bu kalıntıları iyice kazıyoruz.
Then we put the bones with our meatball back.
Milföy'ü geri koyuyoruz kemiklerle birlikte.
We add the remaining beef stock.
Kalan et suyu da
And
burada.
we bring it to a boil.
Bunu kaynatıyoruz.
We add a little bit of seasoning.
Biraz
We
çeşnilendiriyoruz.
add a bouquet garni. A bouquet garni consists of the wrapping of a leek. And inside we have thyme, a celery stick, as well as parsley stick and a bay leaf. This is a classical bouquet garni. It's an aromatic, which we usually use for sauces and soups.
Bu kegarli sosları tatlandırmak için kullanıyoruz.
Now we let it simmer a few minutes, then we will strain it and we will continue to reduce it. At this stage, we will also add the garlic.
Bu aşamada sarımsağı da ekliyoruz.
As I said before, on the basic classes, we focus on technique, the French cooking techniques.
Temel seviyede Fransız pişirme tekniklerini
Our
kullanıyoruz.
students the basic knife skills.
Temel bıçak
We use them
becerileri,
the basic stocks, the
temel
basic sauces, and all
soslar
basic cooking preparations.
ve pişirme hazırlıkları.
For this recipe, I have here a beef stock. A beef stock is prepared, a brown beef stock is prepared by roasting the beef bones, some shank meat, you roast it brown, you add vegetables, tomato paste. If desired, you can also add some red wine.
Domates salçasıyla eti birlikte kavuruyoruz.
After well roasted,
Kırmızı
you
şarap
cook
da
it from
ekleyebiliriz.
4 to 8 hours. So we
4-8
want all
saat
the
pişiriyoruz.
collagen of the bones to be cooked out.
Kemiklerin kolajeni iyice
Later
çıkmış oluyor.
flavor as well as body to the sauces.
Soslara lezzet katıyor böylece.
In our school, we are an international teacher team, chef instructors. We have chef instructors from Switzerland, from Italy, from Belgium, as well, of course, from France.
İtalya'dan, Belçika'dan, Fransa'dan eğitmenlerimiz mevcut okulumuzda. Uluslararası bir okul burası.
So everything goes well. Just clean up. The lamb needs another 9 minutes.
Kuzunun bir 9 dakikası daha var.
The lentils also cooking. I can check the taste. How's the seasoning?
Mercimeklerin bir tadına bakalım. Çeşnisini kontrol edelim.
Very tasty. So I can already prepare my plate.
Tabağımı hazırlamaya başlayabilirim.
I think to clean a plate always, even if it looks clean, you always should use some vinegar.
Temiz görünse bile sirke
Give the final
kullanabiliriz.
shine.
Son bir parlaklık sağlamak için.
Because even if a plate looks clean, you don't know who touched it, what went on.
Temizse bile kimin ellerini bilemiyoruz.
Just give it a final shine.
Son bir parlatalım tabağı.
Of course, a plate should be warm, not too hot. We usually aim for a temperature around 60 degrees.
60 derece civarında olacak tabak. Çok sıcak olmayacak.
When our students finished the basic level, they will move on to the intermediate level, where they will apply these techniques which they have learned in the basic cuisine, and they will learn how to make classical French dishes from all around France.
Fransa'nın
We call it the Tour de France.
reçeteleri görüyor. Bir Fransa turu atıyoruz.
So usually you would, when you add the bones, roast the bones, you would let it simmer, yeah, let's say 20 to a half an hour. We have to speed up the process a little bit today. So I will strain.
Sonra bir 20-30 dakika pişiriyoruz normalde. Bugün biraz hızlandırıyoruz ama sosumuzu. Şimdi süzüyorum.
Now we will reduce the sauce to the coating consistency.
Şimdi katlayan bir kıvam.
At the time, there have been different agents used as thickening. Today, chefs prefer not to add any flours, etc. Today, the chefs prefer to achieve the right consistency by reducing.
Şimdi şeflerimiz
When you reduce the sauce, of course, you will also intensify the flavor, the body, and it makes the sauce also lighter, contrary to the binding with flour.
Unla bağlamaktansa.
So after our students have completed the intermediate level, one level is 30 lessons. One lesson is, first the students will have a 3 hours demo where they will be shown the different recipes. The students, they will get the recipe only the ingredients. They have to write down the method themselves. Then they will go the kitchen after 3 hours. They have a small break. After 3 hours, they go to one of our kitchens and they have to replicate these recipes. So again, it will take 3 hours for them. Then one of the teacher will evaluate their work and they will get a grade.
Eğitmenlerimiz
the last lesson, of course, is the exam, the final exam of the students.
Sonrasında bir her sınav oluyor.
Dish, and there will be, of course, a kitchen jury as well as a testing jury.
Yemek hazırlıyor ve bir tadım jürisi.
After they completed the intermediate level, our students they move on to the superior level. It's called the superior cuisine. There we have a more an international approach to cooking. Of course, still French cuisine is the base.
Orta seviyeden sonra üstün seviyeye geçiyor.
Our students, they will see
Uluslararası bir yaklaşım gösteriliyor.
restaurant
Michelin
recipes,
restoranların reçeteleri.
mainly from France, but also from other parts of the world.
Fransa'dan ama başka taraflardan da.
So there, the superior level consists of 30 lessons. Also on this level, there will be modern techniques introduced, like sous vide cooking and many others. Molecular recipes they will learn. So it is a more up-to-date. So after students finalize the superior level, they will be able and well-trained to go to the industry and work in a cuisine. can take some of the pesto, which we have prepared.
Pestoyu ekliyoruz.
So the lamb, the first cooking is nearly completed. I will transfer it to a different dish.
Farklı bir tabağa alıyorum.
And I will return it for the remaining few minutes
Birkaç dakika daha çeviriyorum.
back to the oven.
Fırına atıyoruz.
I will remove the fat from the pan.
Tavadaki yağı alıyorum.
Also here we have this roasting residues, which of course I want to keep and I want to add to our sauce.
Buradaki kalıntıları da tabii ki de tutuyorum. Sosumuza ilave edeceğiz bunları.
I will make sure there is not much fat left.
Çok fazla yağ kalmamasını sağlıyorum.
So I deglaze it with a little bit of the sauce.
Sosla biraz deglaze ediyorum.
So of course hygiene is also a big part of our teaching.
Hijyen burada
Our
öğretmenler
students,
çok
when
önemli.
you complete one task, should always clean your workstation.
Bir iş bittiği zaman her zaman istasyonumuzu temiz tutuyoruz.
So we let the sauce continue reducing.
Sosu çektirmeye devam ediyoruz.
And we check the cooking degree,
Pişme derecesini kontrol ediyoruz.
lentils.
Mercimekleri.
They're also about to be finished. You can see they nearly absorbed all the liquid.
Bütün sıvıyı çekmiş
I
neredeyse.
can give the final seasoning.
Son bir çeşnilendirmeyi yapabiliriz.
As additional flavor, I can give a spoon of the pesto.
İlave bir lezzet olarak bir kaşık pesto koyuyorum.
Usually, as the pesto is prepared with fresh herbs,
Pesto
always
soslarla hazırlanıyor genelde.
add at the end of the cooking.
Pişmenin en sonunda
If you cook
ekleniyor bu
them
nedenle.
too early or at the beginning, fresh herbs tend to get bitter.
Çok erken eklenirse acılaşıyor bu otlar.
Now we let rest the meat. Resting the meat is a very important step
Dinlendiriyoruz. Çok önemli bir adım.
because when we cook, the heat is pressing the juices to the center of the meat. Now we have to let it rest and relax so the juices will redistribute to the meat. We have a nice even rosé color.
Etin içindeki sular daha rahat dinlensin diye
Rosé.
dinlendiriyoruz.
For beef, you say medium rare, medium well done. But for lamb, we prefer to use the term rosé.
Kuzu için rosé terimini kullanmayı
And
tercih
to use a
ediyoruz.
thermometer, rosé is usually a temperature of 59.
Genelde 59 dereceye tekabül ediyor termometre kullandığımız zaman.
59, because even out of the oven, the cooking continues. So you should take it about 4 to 5 degrees earlier out. So the meat should be now about 55. After resting, it will be 59 to 60.
Et dinlendikten sonra derecesi arttığı için 55 dereceden çıkarmamız daha uygun oluyor. Diğer türlü çok pişmiş olabiliyor.
Then at the end of the cooking, we will just add a small piece of butter to the lentil.
Mercimeğe ufak bir parça tereyağı ilave ediyoruz pişirmenin sonunda.
After all, French kitchen still uses a lot of butter.
Fransız mutfağı epey bir tereyağı kullanıyor tabii ki.
This gives a kind of a binding to the lentils, as well as a glossy shine, and as well as improves the flavor.
Mercimeklerin daha parlak olmasını sağlıyoruz böylece.
The lentil are ready.
Mercimekler hazır.
Ready for portion.
Porsiyonlama için.
You just have to give the final reduction to the sauce.
Sosumuzu son bir çektirmesini yapalım.
I will organize my station for portioning.
Porsiyonlama için
If you have a cutting board, you should always use some type of mat to avoid sliding.
Kesme tahtasının kaymaması için bir çeşit mat
Because if your
kullanıyoruz.
cutting board is not stable, you are in danger to cut yourself or to hurt yourself. If you don't have one of those mats, you can also use a wet kitchen tissue paper.
Eğer mat yoksa ıslak bir peçete de kullanabilirsiniz tabii ki.
So nappe consistency, what does it mean?
Nappe kıvamı ne demek oluyor?
It should just cover the meat.
Eti kaplayacak sadece.
You can check, you take your spoon in.
Bir kaşık alarak kontrol
put your
edebiliriz.
finger through and the line stays, then it is okay. As you can see, the line doesn't stay yet, so it needs a minute more to reduce.
Bir çizgi çektiğimiz zaman onun sabit durması gerekiyor. Şu an öyle olmadığı için biraz daha çektiriyoruz.
You can already remove the butcher's twine from the meat.
Etin üstündeki ipleri alabiliriz.
And we still let it rest.
Ve biraz daha dinlendiriyoruz.
has a very nice concentrated meat flavor.
Çok yoğun, konsantre bir et tadı var.
Consistency. As you can see, the line stays. It doesn't flow together. So this is an indication the sauce is about to be ready.
Bu da sosun hazır olmak üzere olduğunu gösteriyor.
Now we will give a final touch to our sauce, of course with butter. And the term is called Monte au beurre. So this is to give to the sauce a shiny appearance. And of course, it will improve the flavor. Once more is sufficient.
Sosumuzda şimdi son bir dokunuş yapacağız. Monte au beurre deniyor buna.
And it will give also a light binding to the sauce.
Hem sosumuzu bağlamış oluyor hem de bir parlaklık sağlıyor.
The term is called Monte au beurre.
Monte au beurre deniyor.
Now we have a beautiful shiny sauce. After you add the butter, of course, we don't boil it again.
Tereyağını ekledikten sonra
I'm ready for portioning.
Tabağı ısıttık ve porsiyonlama için hazırız.
As you can see, the meat is evenly pink. It's beautiful cooked. You can see the fillet. You can see the green from the pesto. Gives a very nice appearance.
Et çok eşit bir şekilde pişmiş. Görüyorsunuz ortası pembe, dışındaki o pesto rengini. Çok hoş görünüyor.
In the center, we place the lentil. You see all the chicken stock has been absorbed.
Bütün tavuk suyunu çekmiş et.
But still it has a certain degree of moisture. Then on top, we will place one piece of the meat.
Üstüne bir parça et ekliyoruz.
And now, the sauce, we don't put over the meat because we want our customer to see the cooking degree of the meat. So we don't want to hide it.
Etin pişme derecesini müşterinin görmesi için etin üstüne sosumuzu dökmüyoruz.
And also we will add for our pesto.
Biraz pestodan da ilave ediyorum.
This gives a nice fresh note to our dish. And anyway, mint and lamb, they complement each other very well.
Kuzu ve nane çok iyi gittiği için biraz tazelik katıyor bu pesto tabağımıza.
So, this is a sample of one of our lamb dish. Bon appétit.
Kuzu tabağımıza bir örnek bu. Afiyet olsun.
So let us arrange the kitchen. And when we are back, Chef Andreas will be back with the soufflé.
Mutfağı biraz düzenleyelim. Ardından Andreas şefimiz sufleyle geri dönecek.
Evet, değerli misafirlerimiz, bu arada ben sözü alayım. Evet, maalesef çeviri sırasında teknik bir sıkıntımız oldu. Öncelikle şunu merak ediyorum, oldukça yabancı misafirimiz var. Türkçe çeviriye ihtiyaç varsa, ihtiyaç olanlar chatten bize yazabilirler mi? Önce ihtiyaç olup olmadığını tespit edelim. Çünkü anladığım kadarıyla uluslararası misafirlerimiz için çeviri biraz dikkat dağıtırıyor dediler. Diğer konu şu, evet çeviri yaparken konuşulunca diğer ekran karşınıza çıkıyor. Bu nedenle aslında buna engel olmak için şeflerimizin olduğu fotoğrafta sağ üst köşede 3 tane bir mavi kutunun içinde 3 tane nokta göreceksiniz. Oraya basıp pin dediğinizde aslında ekranınız hiç değişmeyecek ve sadece şefleri göreceksiniz. Bu bir bakıma yanlışlıkla mikrofonunu açan ya da görüntüsünü açan misafirlerimizi de görmemenizi sağlayacak. Bunu da izin verirseniz hızlıca İngilizce söylemiş olayım. I understand we have few international students. So basically the way, and we apologize about the translation, there has been a technical error in the translation. That's why we have to go back, switch to manual translation. But to avoid the switch of the screens, you may go ahead and pin the screen of our chefs. How would you do that? If you go on top of the screen of Le Cordon Bleu, you will see a blue square with 3 dots. Just tap that area and then pin that one. You would be able to see only that screen. And this will also allow you, if anybody by mistakes turns off the speakers or turns off the speaker or turn on the camera, you wouldn't be seeing that. You would be seeing only the pinned screen. And also, in that sense, I would like to welcome the international guests. And as far as I understand, we have an instructor, Faiza Khan. Faiza Khan, would you say hi to us?
Hello, I'm your ex-friend. I used to, I did my many certification from the Cordon Bleu, and it's love. Yes, I am teaching few of my students, and I want them to learn and see how you guys are like, and motivate them, obviously, for further studies to continue with the Cordon Bleu, inshallah.
Where are you from?
From Pakistan.
From Pakistan, excellent. We are very happy that we are hosting you, although it's through online Gastro show. But we wish good luck and big success to your students. Hope to see them in Turkey, in our premises, hopefully.
Soon, inshallah. My whole batch, we will visit Turkey soon, inshallah. In January, we are planning.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Khan. Thank you very much. Okay, while we are waiting for Chef Andreas, we are also checking if we would be able to fix the microphone. Thank you. Evet, şu anda ekip mikrofonu düzeltebiliyor mu diye bakıyor. Çok özür dileriz bu teknik arıza yüzünden. Az önce söylediğim gibi eğer Le Cordon Bleu yazan ekranın sağ üst köşesinden pin yaplerseniz o zaman görüntü gidip gelmeyecek. Onu tekrar belirtmek isterim. Bu aşamada bana eğitimlerle ilgili, şeflerle ilgili bir sorunuz varsa onlara cevap verebilirim. Chatten yazabilirsiniz ya da mikrofonunuzu açabilirsiniz. Meanwhile, if you have any questions towards to me regarding the chefs or regarding the education in Turkey, in Le Cordon Bleu, please feel free to write from the chat or just turn on your microphone and you can go ahead and ask. Okay, it seems that we don't have any question. It's quite clear. Soru yok gibi gözüküyor. Peki o zaman 1-2 dakika şeflerimize vakit tanıyalım ve onlar hazır oldukları zaman tekrar Gastro Show'umuza Şef Andreas'la devam edelim. Şef Andreas'ın reçetesini de bu sufle reçetesini de sizle paylaşıyoruz. Evet, bir misafirimiz reçetelerle ilgili sormuş. Chat'e girdiğinizde reçeteleri görebilirsiniz ve reçeteleri oradan bilgisayarınıza download edebilirsiniz. One of our guests asked about the recipe. Yes, we have already shared the recipes. You can, from the chat, you can look to the chat screen and you can download both of the recipes. They are bilingual, so this is both in English and in Turkish. Okay. Where? Dear Rami Baba, it is actually, please go up in the chat, and when you see there are two recipes, you can download those both PDF recipes. They are in bilingual. Yes, we can reshare them. Evet, reçeteleri tekrar paylaştık daha sonra girenlerin görebilmesi için. Sanırım şimdilik başka soru yok. Tekrar Türk misafirlerimize soralım. Çeviriye ihtiyaç var mı? Yoksa dikkat dağılmasın diye çeviri olmadan İngilizce devam edebilir miyiz? Zannediyorum çeviriye gerek yok. Bununla ilgili bir talep gelmediğine göre. O zaman sizi çok bekletmeden teknik arızayı gidermek adına tekrar başlayalım.
Test. Test. Test 1-2'yi deneme. Test. Test. Test 1 2. Test. Deneme. Test 1 2 deneme. Test. Deneme 1 2 test. Ses kontrol. Test.
Smooth. Now it's working. Is it working now? It should work now. Okay, good. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Andreas Erne, and what Chef Eric told you before, I will do you the souffle au cointreau. For this, I'm going to start up to making my molds first. I softened my butter and brushed them well. Give them a good brush of butter. I'm going to brush from the bottom to the top to show how the souffle is supposed to go. It's supposed to go up. Maybe one thing, the French souffle is different than from the Turkish souffle, what you know. The Turkish souffle is more actually vulcano or a mouleuse, what is not moving that much up, but is soft inside. And our souffle, we're moving up, we're rising out of the mold, depends how well we are working, as higher it goes. Now for the chemisage, I brushed with the soft butter and I'm lining now with the sugar. I just get the excess sugar out. I'm done with it. I keep the molds refrigerated until I need it. And next, our souffle has actually 3 components. That's the pastry cream, the starch, and the egg whites. So for this, I have here the milk. For the pastry cream, for the flavors, I have orange juice with the zest. I'm gonna reduce this to a syrup. Then I get my bowl. I have the flour. I sieve it. For my flavor, I'm gonna marinate the orange peel with the cointreau. And for the pastry cream, I do have the 5 egg yolks. Then I'm going to add 120 grams of sugar. Sugar, I'm going to add half to the milk. And the other half, I'm going to add into my egg yolk. Now I'm going to blanch them. That means I'm whisking up the yolks with the sugar until pale in color and the sugar has dissolved. If I would leave the sugar just on top of the yolks will burn and will give an unpleasant texture to the final result. When we do this, we keep always an eye on what's going on in the stove. Not that we burn or we're overcooking something. Now regarding pastry classes, this as well in 3 levels. You have basic, intermediate, and superior. Pastry classes are in 20 lessons, and basic is actually done just basic cuttings, some sponge cake, basic doughs, and these kind of things. But nevertheless, we're doing cakes and tarts. I will come later on back to it. I will have afterwards some time when the souffle is in the oven. Now we can see the yolks as the color has changed. It gets actually thickening its mixture and sugar has dissolved. I'm going to add the flour, the sieved flour. This I need afterwards once more. Incorporate it. I'm just going to bring the milk to the boil without really evaporating the milk, otherwise I would change my recipe. It starts to boil. This is a basic pastry cream. I temper now my eggs. I add some of the milk into the eggs. This we're calling tempering. What it means, we're bringing actually the egg temperature and the milk temperature to an equal temperature, so we are not making scrambled eggs. I place everything back into the pan. Now I'm going to go back to the fire and bring it to a boil. This I do, I have to stir all the time. Otherwise the risk is that it burns on the meat. So I have to give the full attention to it. But you can see it starts to thicken. I just remove it quick from the fire. I want to have an equal cooking. Otherwise, underneath it starts to get thick. On the top, it's still too liquid. And there's the risk to getting lumps. You see, it starts to boil. I'm done. I transfer the mixture into a bowl and cooling this now down. Chef Eric will take care. I put them on ice water just to cool the mixture down. It needs to be really cold, otherwise I cannot do the next process. Good. Meanwhile, I'm going to prepare my starch. What I'm going to add later on to the pastry cream. You have my spatula. Okay, it's okay. For this, I have another 3 egg yolks. Then I have the starch, the cornstarch. I'm going to sieve them as well. I'm going to dissolve the cornstarch now in the yolks. This is ready. My syrup is almost ready. Needs a bit more. The marinated orange peel is ready. Cleaning between. You see, I'm using as well always a bowl to stabilize my big bowl. If I would work like this, it's not really secure. Now I'm going to start to whip up my egg whites. I do have the egg whites. I put them in the bowl. And then I have the sugar. Now, before I even start to whip up the yolk, the whites, I just break them first in the bowl to put these in parts. You can see I just breaking down the whites. And then I start to whisk up. For this, I'm using the ballon whisk. I did not add the sugar now. We're going to add the sugar at the end. Otherwise, the sugar will take the water out of the egg whites, and then it will be very difficult to whisk up. My syrup has reduced, so it's ready to incorporate the mixture. Almost there, so I start to incorporate the sugar. I give 1/3 of it. Now another third. And now the rest. You can see stiff, egg white, nice, not overdo. It's ready to use. So let's see where my mixture is. Is it cold enough?
Yes, Chef.
Thank you, Chef Eric. Again, I secure. It's nice, pastry cream. First, I'm gonna whisk them up again. We call this knocking down, just to get away of the lumps if you have inside. But if you're working proper at the beginning, you should not have that much in. Okay. Now I'm going to add my egg yolk and the starch. Then I'm going to add my syrup. You see, it's very nice reduced, but not burned underneath. This gives me concentrate orange flavor. And the marinated orange peel with the Cointreau. Now double check that we have everything done. Yes, we have the pastry cream, we have the egg yolk, we have the starch, we have the syrup, and the orange peel with the Cointreau. Now I can start to incorporate the egg whites. I might need the whisk up. No, it's quite stable. It's good. You might need the whisk up once more, just to have a nice, firm egg white. I'm going to add now 1/3 of the egg white. Start to fold this in. Get the next third part, 1/3. Then we cut this in. That means we start from the middle, going to outside with the spatula. And we're going to incorporate the egg white carefully. I start always in the middle and going to the outside. You see, I'm making the cutting move to fold it in. At the end, I just transfer everything into the big bowl. Again, here we're cutting in. We're mixing only until we see there is no more traces of the egg white visible. But be careful, we want to keep all the air inside because this helps to lifting up the souffle. Good, the souffle mixer is ready. So we can fill up our prepared cups. I'm just going to clean up. To fill them, we need a spatula, we need a spoon or a ladle. I'm going to fill up now my cups to the top. You see, I'm using a ladle and not a pastry bag. If I use a pastry bag, most probably I would press out the air, but I incorporate it. So with the ladle, the mixture is quite nice, fluffy, light, and they should go up. At the end, when I have them done, I just get the spatula and flatten the surface. Do not go 100 times forwards and backwards, just once this side, once on this side, done. Good, on this stage, we have to clean up the sides or the top of the souffle molds. That means I go in with my thumb and go around, and at the end, I just will make a swirl to the center. So the top is clean and the souffle is able to raise. I do preheated my oven on 200 degrees. I put the fan on the lowest possible what I can do. If you do this at home, just make sure you do not work with the fan. I cannot switch off the fan with this oven, but I can put this on the lowest, on a low speed. You will see at the end, the souffle will look on one side because this is of the fan. Whatever I said, if you can switch off the fan completely, you will have a much better result. Now this is my souffle ready to go in the oven. I go to 13 minutes on 230 minutes. Whenever the souffle is once in, you just leave it there. Nothing else you can do, just waiting after the 13, 14 minutes until they're baked. Good. That's all about the souffle. We're just waiting now until they're finished. Meanwhile, I can explain you maybe a little bit about pastry lesson. What I told at the beginning, we're having as well 3 basic, intermediate, and superior. In basic, we do really basic preparations, like preparing basic creams, like pastry cream, crème anglaise. What is the difference between meringues, and so on. Some simple tarts, like apple tart, like lemon tart. We do a strawberry cake. We do, what is this other one? Opera cake. So there's already more techniques involved. And then intermediate, we do much more detailed techniques. And then in superior, we do chocolate work. This includes molding chocolate, chocolate sculpture. We do sugar work, that means sugar sculpture. We do plated desserts, and it's actually quite interesting, all the different variation in the pastry. Good. If you have any questions, I don't know how we can handle this with the questions. You might ask now, even if you have any questions for Chef Eric, he's still in the room with me. But anyway, meanwhile, I have my serving plate. I need some icing sugar for the decoration. Okay. So we just need to wait. I just get information. I cannot answer you any question. But can we know? Can we not? I'll fill this up after 10 minutes to fill this up, that you answer something about the school or something like this. Okay. Well, I can see my souffle start slowly to grow, but still we're having time. 4 minutes in. Thank you. I just get some messages. Thank you for those who get me the message. Thank you. Well, at the end, We are all the teachers, we are out of the operations. We worked in operations, bigger, smaller operations. We have quite good international experience. So therefore, I think we have quite a great knowledge what we can give over to our students. And I think this should be the aim of the school, that we give you the basic information, the basic know-how that you can start to work in the industry. But obviously, whenever you're finished here in the school, you have really the basic. You might have a great theoretical know-how, but this needs to be applied in the practice. And that's sometimes not that easy, especially in the situation now. But on the other hand, hotels, restaurants needs to go on. Persons need to eat, persons need to get some food. Wunderbar. Okay, thank you. I hope to see you in the school. Then you can do it and I can see what you are able to do. Maybe one thing for the souffle, you will see the souffle needs to be served immediately when it comes out of the oven. And it should not stand somewhere around, otherwise the souffle will collapse. It holds for maybe 2-3 minutes, definitely, but afterwards it starts to go in. But that's why we say the guest needs to wait for the souffle and not the souffle waits for the guest. Now I can see the souffle start raised. They get slightly a brownish color on the top. I think I did a good job, so they're really coming up. If you do not following the recipe, especially in pastry, then most probably your result will not be efficient or not what you're looking for. So therefore, it's quite important. You measure everything proper. You follow the process, how it has to be done. In the kitchen, there might be a little bit more flexibility. If you have 1 gram, 2 grams too much in the kitchen, it's not a big issue. But pastry can be quite a different result at the end, especially when you have difficult dishes like a souffle, or there are some other dishes, then you might have not the result you would like to have. It's the same with the temperature. It is as well quite important, temperature, to have the right temperature, especially when you work with sugar. As you know, sugar caramelizes. If you go too high in temperature, then your product will get much faster brownish or dark, respective black. Therefore, it's actually important, right temperature, right time, the right measurements, right equipment, and then we should be successful. We're having 3 minutes left. Yes, I can see the go already slightly to the sides because of the oven. What I told you, with the fan, it blows me to the sides. But whatever, at home, you might switching off the fan completely. Just put one layer in, and then it's going to work. As well, you should not open the oven during the cooking process, because then we're losing the steam. When you open it, we're losing the steam, what is inside the oven, and the steam helps as well to lift up the souffle. Maybe one question, why we do a pastry cream, and then afterwards we add egg yolk and starch and egg white. As one simple reason, whenever we do the pastry cream, we cook the yolk, we cook the starch. So this is already done. Then we cannot have any more. This will not cook anymore. It will not help anymore. So therefore, we add the raw egg yolk again and the starch. This is now cooking. And this helps at the end to stabilize the souffle. And to rising a souffle, it's not the egg white itself. It is the water in the egg white, what it lifts up. Water develops the steam, and the steam lifting up. But that's why we're having the starch in, what is cooking meanwhile, and it's getting stable. The bubbles inside getting stable, so it will not collapse. If you would have no starch inside, whenever it comes out, the environment is cold, and then obviously the water from the steam goes back to the water and it collapses. That's why we put the egg white afterwards in and the starch to stabilize the souffle. Yes, we have it almost. Just be careful, whatever is in the oven has 200 degrees, we're using torchon. Don't using something like this. This is a cleaning rack. This is wet. Whenever we touch it, develops steam, and we burn quite badly our hands. The souffle calls me. 30 minutes in. This is the result. I'm just gonna dust with some icing sugar. What I told you, they go slightly on the side because of the fan oven. This is our souffle. I don't know if you can see it. If I open it, you see, it is baked, but it's still moelleuse. This means soft. It's not liquid. It is not, but it's soft and nice, pleasant to eat. Okay. Even this, when I take, you see, it's quite nice, fluffy. It's not sticky on the rim. It's done. But you can see now, it's still okay, but in a minute, they will start to go down because of the air inside what cools down. Good. Okay. If you have any questions, you might send a message to the school. If you can answer you, it's fine. That's all from my side. Thank you for watching us and be with us.
Very good, dear guests. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us all the way from Pakistan and also from Turkey. We are happy to host you. Thank you. And hope to see you maybe in Turkey soon when we have the healthier days, I suppose. Değerli misafirlerimiz, çok teşekkür ederiz etkinliğimize katıldığınız için. Hem yurt dışından gelen misafirlerimiz, katılan misafirlerimiz hem Türkiye'den katılan misafirlerimiz oldu. Ümit ediyoruz